Did you get really into cocaine?
Not really into it, but there were nights where I was just like, I was up for like 40 hours kind of thing. So it wasn't that often, but it was like once I start, I can't stop. And I had to stop, basically. Yeah.
Did you ever like, hey, who's got cocaine? Anybody got cocaine tonight? Or when it was out, we were like, I'll take some with you?
That. And then I would do I'm not proud of this, but then I would do like whoever seemed to have it and was going to the next bar, I'd be like, yeah, I'll keep going. Like literally just tracking I did ketamine by accident because I thought it was cocaine.
Snorted ketamine?
Threw up everywhere.
Yeah. I was at a music festival and some lady comes out of the bathrooms. We're all camped right near the bathrooms. And she was like, just as strangers. She was like, do you guys have any cocaine? And we're like, no. And she goes, how about ketamine? And we're like, what a different trip.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a very different experience. Yeah. And for me, I mean, I was expecting cocaine.
So you're like...
And then I was just like, my hands. Yeah.
How'd you like it?
It was not great. I was like, I gotta go. And I ran to the middle of this dance floor at this like shitty underground nightclub that I was in love with. Threw up in the middle of the floor. Instantly felt better and was like, and like went back to my friends and just like didn't have that again. But now I do that partly because of what's his name, Gary Goldman's special. I do the ketamine infusions for depression now, which is like an old-timey version of... So one thing that's like a newer drug for like depression, anxiety is low-dose ketamine over an IV.
I've heard that. I think Neil Brennan was talking about that or something.
Yeah, and so I had read about it because I have like depression and like every other comic, and it was like literally Gary Goldman's The Great Depression special, where he was like, I also even tried ketamine, and it didn't work.
It didn't work for Neil either.
Yeah.
He was saying at first it was like, it's working, and then like, I think like a few months later, he was like, actually, it ended up really not working.
Yeah, so it's been like 9 months, and it worked a lot, and now I also kind of feel like it's not working as well, but that's the only ketamine I'm doing still. It's like...
Yeah, maybe it's a short-term thing.
Yeah,
and I might be misquoting Neil too, and it might have still worked. I just kind of have that memory.
Yeah, but in the short term, it's like, it's basically like, I don't know if you have like depression or anything.
I had it for a while.
Yeah, where it's basically like, the reason I thought it would be good for me is I read some article about it where a woman was like, things like getting dressed, leaving the house no longer felt like huge burdens. I just did them. And I was like, oh, you can feel that way? Interesting. And that is how you feel. Yeah. But you're supposed to now, I'm supposed to go every like 6 months, but it doesn't.
Go what? For that treatment?
Yeah.
Ketamine is such a just do this.
Yeah.
Drug.
And it's, I mean, if nothing else, it's expensive, but it's a way to like, you basically sit in like a dentist chair for an hour with an IV, and you bring music. I do like a lot of Taylor Swift. It's very cheesy, but it's supposed to be like upbeat, right?
Yeah.
They give you a blanket, and then you just like trip for an hour, and then they increase the dose every time you go. So it used to be just sort of pleasant. And the most recent one, I think it was like the two things they vary are how much and how fast you get it. And I think they put it on like, it was a bigger dose for me, and it was lightning fast, and I was out of my mind.
Were you in a hole? Did you ever...
Like, I was like, I no longer exist. Like, it was just like the heaviest trip I've ever had. And it was like in FIDI 2 months ago.
Really?
I really recommend it.
Yeah.
Really
I would just get it from like dealers or friends who have it. I'm like, I'll try it, but I've never like...
Yeah, it's quite...
IV drugs. It's crazy.
Nice. Yeah. And this was like mid-pandemic, and and then for a couple weeks, you just don't feel bad. Like, it really does make a difference.
Hi, everybody. Ari Shafir here. I'm the world's greatest lemming entertainer. I need one favor from you. If you enjoyed that video, do me a favor. Leave a comment and hit subscribe. It's not too much to ask.